This white lady walked over to me and my friends while we were on the beach and asked us to throw her trash away.
Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments.
This white lady walked over to me and my friends while we were on the beach and asked us to throw her trash away. This white lady walked up to me and my friends when we were on the beach and asked us to throw her trash away. Kid you not. Scouts honor, okay? Had I not been there, I wouldn't believe this would have happened.
The audacity. Are you kidding me? Who does she think she is?
So me and my friends went on a carnival cruise and we had to stop in Nassau. And after a day of exploring Nassau, we stopped at Junkanoo Beach. We were so cute. We had like little cheetah print swimsuits on. I'll show y'all some pictures. Out in the water having a good time. We go and get in our chairs that we pay for, mind you, because they taxing on everything on the beach. Even if it's just like a little $10 or something, they want you to spend some money. But we did. We tried to fuel the local economy. So we sat in our chairs. This lady walks out of the ocean with a chip bag and plastic cups within the chip bag and said, "Hey, we just wanted to get this out of the ocean. Can you throw this away for us?" And we're looking at her like, "No, ma'am, you can go find a trash can." And she was like, "You don't want to see the ocean beautiful? You don't want us to have a nice ocean? Can you not throw this away for us?"
It's your trash. Throw it away yourself. You could walk out of the water to go get chips for yourself, but you cannot go throw your trash out. Honestly, people of color are not your servants, okay? So if you want your trash taken out, take it out yourself, okay? It's very upsetting that it's 2025 and people are still behaving like this. If you want to see the ocean beautiful, throw it out yourself.
And again, we say, no, we cannot. And so she proceeds to tell us that we're bougie and sets the cup on my friend's chair that she is sitting in and sets the cup and chip bag, the trash, on my friend's lounge chair that she is sitting in and proceeds to walk back into the ocean. Now we're all looking at each other like, what the fuck just happened? And so me, being me, went and grabbed the chip bag and the cup and politely walked it back into the ocean to put it in her hand. And all her friends are like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on? Da 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 da." I proceed to tell her, "Baby, I am not the custodial nor the janitorial service. We are not the custodial or the janitorial service."
They already said no. I'm pretty sure the time she stood there and argued with them, she could have already found the trash and threw her trash away. It's so disrespectful to see somebody sitting down minding their business and then you come ask them to throw your trash away. If the roles were reversed, are you gonna be okay with that? So why do you think she should be okay with throwing away your trash?
I don't know what you thought we looked like, but we are not throwing your trash away. You have lost your mind. And everybody around her is, "Oh, what's going on? Oh my gosh, she didn't mean it." Da, 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 da. One of the ladies there was like, "Oh, my sister just died and we're having this moment." Da, 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 da. And sorry to that woman. My condolences. But what we're not going to do is ask black women to do labor on their vacation for you. That's insane. Insane. So then we go back and lay on our lounge chairs. And then her and her husband come up to us and she proceeds to tell us how sorry she is. She didn't know it was rude. Her husband had to tell her it was rude. Then she proceeds to tell us how young and gorgeous we are.
Your husband has to tell you how it was rude. Don't you have any common sense? Like, your husband has to tell you that telling somebody to throw away your trash is rude. Can't you think for yourself? Like, please don't piss me off.
And she's just the old lady, starts being self-deprecating because that's how they apologize. And like, we don't need you to be self-deprecating. You don't need to talk about how you're old lady and don't look that well and all of these things. We don't care. I just need you never to walk up to black women again and demand they throw your trash away. Who the fuck are you? What? Crazy. If I wouldn't have been there, I wouldn't have believed it.
This is so unbelievable. Like, that somebody would treat another person like this. Like, what about them come give me the trash? If you want the ocean to be clean, go throw the trash away yourself. Goodness, this is annoying.
I try my best to do this in one part. So one of the positions that I worked in recruitment was I used to work at a staffing agency and I was over my own branch. So one of the jobs I would do is I would take in new clients and I would fill whatever job positions they needed to be filled. So one day I answered the phone and we had a lady who wanted us to start to recruit from some positions for her company. So we're talking and she's giving me all the details about the kind of person that she needs for this position. And so all of a sudden she says, can you please make sure that you do not send me anybody over that is Black? When I was in corporate, I code switch sometime with my voice, right? Like I felt like I had to sound a certain way in order to be accepted. Hello, this is Alicia. How can I help you? So she probably thought that she was talking to somebody of another race. And this was like years ago. But when it happened, I remember like I was legit shocked. Like I froze for a second. I didn't even know what to say. So when she said, make sure that you don't send anybody Black, and it had a long pause, she was like, are you there? And I was like, yeah, I'm here. And she said, if you want to, you can come by the office in the morning and we can talk about this some more.
That's about to be awkward. That's going to be so awkward when she finds out that you are in fact Black. Oh my goodness. But what do you have against Black people?
So you can imagine right now, I'm like, I got to see the look on this lady's face when I walk into her office and I'm Black. So I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to say? How am I even going to approach this whole situation? Like a lot was going on in my mind. When I got to her office and I walked in, her mouth dropped open. So I walked in really cool. I was like, so I'm here to talk about the person that you wanted to fill this position. So long story short, she started crying, and that's a whole nother TikTok, but she started crying, talking about the things she went through as a child and her experiences with people of the Black race.
The fake cry really annoys me because if this lady was not Black, she wouldn't have acted like that. So she thought it was okay to be racist until she found out that the person she was talking to over the phone was Black. And I just think that crying is just a manipulative tactic so that you can feel bad for her. And then now she becomes the victim in the whole situation. I don't know. Those fake tears really does not move me because the tears are fake.
And all this yada stuff. I let her know that her way of thinking was very ignorant and I corrected some mindsets that she had. I contacted my boss and let her know what had happened, and I decided that we would not be taking her on as a new client. And it was really weird because after that, for like a month straight, she would send me like gifts and stuff to my office every week. But that goes back to my original video when I was talking about how you cannot take job rejection personal. People don't hire people based upon all kinds of reasons. A lot of time it has nothing to do with your experience or your skill set.
Honestly, it's so sad though, because sometimes you might do your best to get the best grades, but then you might still just not be hired just because of your skin color. This reminds me of an email that was leaked years ago of this company that clearly states as one of its requirements as do not hire Black people. Like, what would we do? Like, seriously though, like, I don't know. It's so frustrating though. Unfortunately, it's 2025 and things like this still happen. So I think like more of what you see is microaggression, right? But some people, especially on the internet, some people are full-blown racist. They don't care. Especially those people with no profile pictures. Oh my goodness. They are rude, they are mean, they're racist. So I don't know. At this point, it is what it is, right?
Fighting a racist person at the bar.
And this is my battle wound. Let me tell you guys a story. I know it's crazy. I go to this bar to see my girlfriend playing, and my other girlfriend is behind me. We're both dancing, and this guy comes to us. And he's trying to talk to her and me, and she's like, hey, it is her birthday, which is not true, but she's like, it's her birthday, talk to her. And it's like, oh my God, it's your birthday, let me buy you a drink. I was like, sure, why not? So he gets me a drink and we come back to the dance floor. Everyone's dancing on their own, like I'm just on the front cheering one of my girlfriend who is the one singing at this place. And this lady comes near me and she whispered in my ear some words that I did not understand. But she kept doing it. What I could hear for what she was trying to say, she said something like, hey, you're beautiful, but you're basic. I was like, okay, I did not.
That's so uncalled for. If you do not have a genuine compliment, keep your compliment to yourself. That's like a backhanded compliment. Why would you tell somebody you're beautiful but you're basic? Rude.
Not hear that. Whatever. Then she comes again and say, hey, I think you think you're pretty, but you're not. I'm like, wait, did she just said that? Like, am I crazy? Am I being crazy right now? Like, I was just speechless, right? I'm like, no, I probably did not hear that. The music is really loud. Then she comes and say, you're a brown monkey. You think you're pretty, but you're not. It was like, wait, what?
First of all, my first impression of her is that she's gorgeous. That was my first thought when I clicked on her video. So whatever she's saying, I just think she's just being jealous, you know? And, you know, calling somebody a brown monkey in 2025, that's audacious. Because most people are not openly racist. It's the microaggression, you know? They just say things that they can easily take back, or they try to gaslight you that you're overthinking it, or they play the, oh, I didn't mean to be racist, I don't know card, you know? So most people are not this openly racist. So I'm kind of surprised that she was like this bold, you know?
I didn't care that she said that. I was like, whatever, she's just drunk, she's an old lady. I do not care. So when she tried to say something again, I was like, no, stop. So I put my hands on her chest. I was like, stop, stay away from me. And she put her handbag on the floor and she's like, no, come here, fight me, fight me. I'm like, lady, you're drunk, you're old. Like, no. Like, I'm not trying to fight you. Like, stop. Then she comes to my face and she's like, fight me, fight me. And I was like, no, stop. Like, it's so weird. Like, no, stop. Yeah, I was trying to stay calm because I didn't want to be that crazy Latina. You guys know. I don't know if you guys know that feeling. And that's when she did it. She grabbed my drink and threw it on the garbage and said, what are you going to do about it now?
It's like they trigger you and then they turn around to call you crazy. This woman worked overtime to push this girl to her limit. And the fact that she's also an older woman, like, that's kind of surprising though. I'm not saying that older people are not racist, but older people tend to not want to get into physical confrontation as much.
The Latina in me switched. I was like, I have never held it this much for so long. And out of me, I was like, fuck everything. I was like, oh girl, you're getting it. I grabbed her by the hair. She grabbed me by the hair and we're both down, not on the floor. My head is like, you're not gonna get me down on the floor, bitch. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so for me to fight like a girl is like weird, but I didn't want to end up on the floor this time, which is normal in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm holding her hair and she's holding mine. So I started punching her on the face while holding her, like here, you know, like, I have to make a part 2. Let's pretend my teddy is her. So I'm grabbing her like this and she's grabbing my hair, right? So I'm like punching her like this many times. So she got knocked down on the floor. Once I have her on the floor, and she went from this to the floor, I'm grabbing her by the hair. And I'm like, I feel bad for my teddy bear. You fucking bitch, what the fuck you would do that, you stupid. And I'm like slapping the fuck out of her. More like a baby getting spanked on the floor for many times. Everyone is watching.
It sounds like she's an elderly woman and you're also into jiu-jitsu. So it makes sense that you have the advantage. But I also don't feel bad for her because she asked for it over and over again. She kept pushing you. So she got exactly what she asked for. So I really don't feel bad for her.
I can't stop laughing. And I got some people, like maybe one person coming in is like, stop, you won. Angry me looks up. Everyone's like, oh my God, you won. Like, I never seen anything like it. I just know that once I stopped, like, boom, 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 I went up and everyone was like, high five, too many people. You won. It literally felt like the UFC fighter, like when you win the fight and everyone's like, yes, kind of situation. And everyone just gave me high fives. And I'm like, oh yeah, let me get my headband, let me get my phone. Like, oh, thank you. And yeah. The racist lady, her friends are just like grabbing her from the floor. Like I saw her friends like trying to help her while she's like on the floor like this. And while everyone's like, you're so amazing, you're so great. Oh my God, that was so cool. Yeah, I was like so proud of myself.
The fact that people are cheering you on. This might not be her first time doing it. You're probably the first person that put her in her place. Or other people were hearing what she was saying to you, but then you said the music was loud. So I'll just assume that this was not her first time doing it. So she got exactly what she was asking for, you know. I feel bad that she's an older person, but she's in a find out phase. So I hope she learned an important lesson that day, you know, and I hope she never repeats it again, because if she does, maybe somebody else will teach her another lesson.
My friend was like, oh, she got a scratch on you. It was like, well, at the end she lost, so just look at her now. And yeah, I just want to say that I don't promote fighting or bullying anyone or doing anything mean, but if you deserve it, you deserve it. Don't try to fight a girl or a black girl or anyone who knows how to fight, because I actually grew up fighting, so that was so much fun for me. So just saying, be careful who you try to bother out there. That's why when I see Hailey and Selena Gomez, I'll be like, that could never be me. Could never. I would already be jumping all those meme girls.
She got what she was asking for, right? I mean, you did your best to not respond to her. So she brought this upon herself. There's a limit to what somebody is willing to take. And you reached your limit, and now she gets to receive what she has been asking for. So I honestly don't blame you. I know she's an older woman, but still, being old does not excuse you being racist and rude. So I don't feel bad for her. Sorry, I don't.
Behind me $3,000 extra in Korea because of racism. So if you don't follow me, I live in Korea and I have a small hostel. A long while ago, and honestly it only happened once. So 12 Chinese guys booked my place. I gave them a bunch of discounts and they told me that honestly they couldn't find another place to take 12 boys in one space, and they just couldn't afford a bunch of hotel rooms. They were really happy. I said yes, they could all stay here. It was a longer booking. I ended up just giving them the whole floor, and I moved some extra beds down there. Usually I would have just let my worker check them in, but they were going to be there for a while, so I wanted to check them in myself. And I see 12 tourists walking down the street. I knew it was them. We have glass floor to ceiling windows, so I can see everything. Right away, I come outside to greet them. They start doing this and holding each other. One of them comes to block the other guys from me. They're staring at me in horror. You would think I was holding up an axe or something. And the guys in the back keep doing this. They're doing this, and they just start running off with their suitcases. Grown ass men. I stood there in shock.
So you're telling me 12 boys are afraid of just one woman? Make that make sense.
I knew this was some shit. So I go back inside, I take a picture of them just to show that they came here. I'm inside and had my worker outside with sweeping and cleaning. My worker is white, doesn't speak the best English, mostly Russian. Tell me why these guys come back. Remember, I have floor to ceiling windows and balconies. I can see everything. The relief on their face when they see my worker, they run over to him. That guy did not work for me very long. He's not the nicest person. He's pretty rude. He didn't understand their accent. Do not usually have this worker talking to guests. Kind of just does the cleaning for me. He points to me up in the balcony. They look at me in horror and they leave. Okay, I got myself a glass of wine. I'm sitting there. Tell me why the platform they booked me on, a worker from there calls me to tell me they're requesting a full refund because I wouldn't allow them to check in. So I show the guy the picture. No, they refuse to check in. It's an international platform, so the worker that they reached out to is in China. This guy said they wrote word for word, scary black people came to rob them when they showed up at the place and they were unable to check in and they felt unsafe.
They ran away just because you are black. Oh no, 12 grown men scared of one black lady.
First of all, who's people? I'm one person. So the first time they came, I told them multiple times, it's me. We're talking. I showed them my phone, or I even called them so they could see their phone ringing. Texted them on the platform. I just saw you. Come back. Please check in. Of course, the guy cannot support what they're saying because clearly I tried to check them in. The crazy part is, guys, I didn't even live there. I had my own apartment, so they wouldn't even have had to live with me. And even though it's a shared house, so they were supposed to share the house, I gave them the floor by themselves as a free service. And my rights, they're not entitled to a refund as long as I provide them with the space that they paid for. Everything is as described online, which it was. So no, I don't have to give you a refund. Next day, they cancel the entire booking thinking they're going to get a full refund. For whatever reason, they start blowing up my phone for this refund. I did not answer them. They text me. I answer back. I text to say a non-refundable booking and the space was available to you and still technically is available, even though it doesn't have to be. So they have a Korean friend call me and he's like, hey, they do want to check in. They can't find another space that'll take take all of them. So can they just check in? I think there's a miscommunication. I'm okay with you. It's just the black people trying to rob them and the black lady. To explain to him too, I am the black lady and this is my place. So they can check in, but it's still gonna be my place. He's like, oh, okay, what about a refund? I hung up, kept my $3,000, opened the listing up, rebooked the same space. I have never been so happy for racist people before.
The black people is just one woman. In what situation is 12 grown men scared of one woman? If not for their racism, because there's just no way. Even one grown man will not be scared of a woman. Let's just be honest. You know, like, you're telling me one woman is stronger than all 12 of you? Like, is she Supergirl or something? Please, stop being dramatic. So these guys would rather be homeless than stay in a black person's space. Hey, if that's what you want, good for you, you know, because there's nothing else you can do. Even if you book on sites like Airbnb, the day off, you're not going to get a refund. You have to cancel a few days before to get a full refund. So you're not entitled to your refund at that point, you know. And the only reason why they refused to check in was because they saw a black person. And it was just one woman. And then they now accuse her of trying to rob them. Like, please make this make sense. Like, how can one person rob 12 people? The math is not my thing, honestly. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments.